This is Six Man and Mike, the new basketball podcast. This is your host, Chris. We talking all basketball. Pros, high school, and college. So this is an episode with 2 weeks worth of basketball, really, from pros, really, NBA. And I'm going to talk about a little bit of the college ranks, too, today. So let's get right into it. Well, I got my 2 weeks takeaway, and for this pro NBA season, shall I say, we gonna get right into it. Let me see. Let me find my notes here. So I got like a 10-week takeaway for the 2 weeks in the NBA. So this one I'm taking away from it. Well, to start off, I'll give you a rundown. And I'm gonna tell you my little insights and my takeaways from it. So we're gonna get right into it. So my mic check for takeaways this week, for the 2 weeks rundown is Tyrese Maxey, the Sixers, and Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecomb. Pretty much what I got to say about them for the past 2 weeks is basically how they look. They probably is the most electrifying. I'm gonna say the most electric backcourt. They but they coming together, especially VJ Edgecomb. I think he's a third overall, fourth overall, somewhere around there for the Sixers. He turned out to be a real good prospect for him. I think the Sixers hit it out the ballpark for them pretty much. It's pretty simple to me. You got a downhill guard like Tyrese Maxey and another electrifying guard like VJ Edgecomb. Has potential to be a two-way guy in the league. So being maybe 6'4", 6'5", VJ Edgecomb will go hard on defense and he will block shots or getting the steal. I'm gonna say he getting the stealing lanes and making impact on the defense end much as he can. But my notes taken away from it for them, for the number one takeaway for that is Maxey's averaged 25. They averaged 25. Yeah, plus 25 this season. VJ Edgecomb is showing promise and flashes of being a two-way player. And it's a very, very loud future for the Sixers fans out there. My takeaway from that is pretty much is this about Philadelphia. Philadelphia, to me, has a little conundrum in their hands right now. For instance, I know Joel Embiid played a few games this season, and he's showing what it's worth. Sorry for the noise, but he's showing that they got to figure out how they're going to put things together. Like, for instance, when Jaren comes back, Jaren McClain, when he comes back with Paul George, with some of the key parts that's coming on the team, they got to see what it actually look like. But to my mind, watching them play, the conundrum they're going to have probably midway through the season, or a couple of games into it, is we going to move on with Joel Embiid and Paul George. To me right now, honestly, I can say personally, I can really say that they can really think. I think they can really think about trading PG away, because the way VJ's showing up right now in the first 10 games of the season, he's showing up and showing out on both sides of the floor. So could be wrong, but that's the way I look at it right now. But end of the day, I'm pretty sure that the Sixers fans are very happy with the draft pick, with the future going to look like with them two in the backcourt. So that's my number one takeaway. My number two takeaway is Wemby is him. Look, man, being a 7'5" guy or 7'6" guy from France is crazy. It's just nuts. It's just, I can say this. While I watched them against Scoot Henderson, against the G League United, I think, and I saw little highlights of him in that game and some games in France. Like, man, only problem I have, like, he got a lot of potential. And he's that big. The problem he gonna have is, like, I looked at times like coordination and where he gain weight. So right now he proving me wrong, but as long as he stay off the injury bug and that blood clot he had last year, but right now to me, right now within these 2 weeks, I can say him and Shea are probably the top two players in the league in my mind because of the way they playing. Because it's like nothing is stopping him. Like you can do anything. Like the other night while I saw him against the Bulls, man, he waves. I don't know who was in the corner over there, but he waving somebody off that night. And I'm like, he waving off. I never seen a 7-foot guy waving off like a two guard or a dynamic bucket getter out like that. But he's showing like, man, look, I got this. I'm taking this shit to the Knicks. I'm taking this thing to the promised line much as I can. So I'm put it like this. He keeps doing what he's doing. San Antonio going places. The takeaways I have for I'm gonna put San Antonio in the mix in 2 seconds. So this is why I look at it. My takeaway is he's him. The last 10 games, he averaged 25, he close to 25 a night, but it's 24 and a half, 12 rebounds. I'm going to say 13, but he says 12.7. I'm going to say he averaged 25, 13, and 4 blocks a game. That's like ridiculous. I mean, he's a ridiculous man. The man had a freaking 8-foot wingspan for all I know, but it might be even longer than that. Because, like I said, he's him. He went to see the Buddhists up there with the monks. He went up there in the monks in the Asian continent trying to get his mind right. Whatever the monks did to him, it changed a different man out there. And like I said, he's shooting 50% from the field, which is amazing. And I'm gonna bring the Spurs into this equation as what Victor's got going on. So Victor and the Spurs got a chance to make. I think they're gonna make some quality noise in the Western Conference Finals. I like Castle. Now they got Fox folding back in the fold now, running the point. But you got the thing about the Spurs. Spurs got some pieces like they did in the last iteration of it. Like you got guys they can score the basketball. They got real good bench players. They got guys that play both sides. They kind of like, believe it or not, I think they got the team I have in mind, I don't think they ready yet for it, but they got the same semblance to me. But they just they are way far ahead right now. To me, I would like to see OKC and San Antonio going at it because you got the matchup with Chet and Wemby going in the post area, and they kind of like they played against each other during the 18. I think it was the 18U when they playing the FIBA league. So I see that rivalry about to start bubbling up a little bit. You got Shea and Castle. I like that matchup a lot too. The matchup that's gonna come down is to coaching. Really, you got, I think his name Mark Johnston, and then you got I forgot the coach name in OKC. It's pretty much gonna come down to players and matchups basically, and who's gonna outcoach each other. But I think I see the semblance in those two, but I can see that gonna be a good rivalry for the next 5 years, just based on this. I won't say they got the same semblance of players, but they got the same. Like I said, you got Wemby and Chet. They play each other already in the FIBA, in like FIBA games and stuff like that when they was younger, and now they in the pros. I can see that they got the same semblance, which in the styles and length, and I think Shake's about like 6'1", 245. You got Wemby by at least 7'6", 7'5", weigh about 230, 240 at least. Now he gained a little muscle. I might be a little wrong on that weight side. To me, he don't look like he's 230. I'll probably say 225 at the most. So that's why I like this similar matchup with them, because how they is. But end of the day, Victor shows that he is right now he is at least top 2 player in the NBA for these 2 weeks. I was keeping my eye on so far in this NBA season. My takeaway 3 is OKC is the team to beat. You got Shaq, Shaq, and J-Dub. They are locked in, but J-Dub's still on the injury list. So, but they are gonna play like they right now, man. They ain't got nobody ain't touching them right now. Only team I know that can match up well to me is Denver Nuggets, because they ain't got nobody to stop Yoke. In my opinion, Shea is a good defender, but still, nobody can stop Yoke, and he don't have to get 30 some nights, but he can use his passing ability to make people get better shots and make a turn for the game, basically. So I can see that happening. I think another thing too, they are, they toasted up the finals and they want more of that too. But the problem I have with OKC right now, even though they are light years ahead right now in this season so far, because the problem I have is they every night, most games that there's going to be a championship game for most teams. And there's going to be some nights they're going to fall asleep on some games. They're going to be fall asleep on the wheel just because, they already won. Like, okay, we won the NBA championship. There's going to be some nights they play against New Orleans, they start slipping a little bit. Just because they might lose the game, but they ain't going to get blowed out by 20. But they might lose by 4 or 5. Something like that, just because they fell asleep on the wheel. OKC is still the team to beat. Shea is one of the best two. Matter of fact, he's the best player. Like I said, him and Wemby is probably one of the best players in the whole entire league right now. And he is like the best 2-guard in the whole league. So, end of the day, they give everybody problems. Like, Thunder is what it is. Like, Shea gonna protect the paint area. Hardenstein, he gonna take the paint area too, just playing defense and grab rebounds. Caruso is gonna be a pest every night. Don't matter who they playing against. And they made a lineup change with Casey Wallace being the point guard now. And they gonna, like I said, they got all these guys. They got Isaiah Joe. They got They got the other Jaden Williams. So they got guys. They ain't really playing major minutes, but they bench is they gonna do everything they can. They gonna play hard every night. They got more. They it's so crazy that they got so many pieces. They can almost get a better piece to make the championship run a hell of a lot better. But right now, I mean, they got what they got. They play inside outside. They don't let other teams dictate what they're gonna do. So that's my takeaway about OKC and this team. Like I said, they the team to beat. My third takeaway from these 2 weeks. Well, that is my third takeaway. My fourth takeaway of these 2 weeks is Cooper Flagg is finding his way. So Cooper Flagg right now, the way I look at it is he's showing flashes on the defensive instincts and transitional plays, but he's still learning. I think he's still learning the pace of the game, basically. Like right now, for instance, like number one, the big issue is for them is I don't know that I don't like the fact Jason Kidd's playing him at point right now. It's just making him a point forward because I don't think he's ready for the responsibility of being a point forward right now. To me, the way I look at it is being a fan and a basketball junkie, and I kind of played it a little bit. It's almost like looking at a whole different perspective. I'm like, man, looking at it like, I don't know if it's going to be a good idea, but at the same time, like for me, I like the person. If I had to ask a pro college guy, there's something that they know a lot more than I do, I'm willing to listen. I might not understand what's going on during the time. So for me, as a fan, I'm saying to myself, like, it's probably a bad idea to do that right now because he need to learn how the layout of the land is in the NBA landscape right now. Like I said, he been off to a rough start right now. Simple fact of that the game is much faster than college in the ACC level. You know, they ain't gonna be nights that when he's in college, he's going to be straight dominating. It's not how it's going to way it is. But I can say this much, though. It's 10 games in after All-Star break, I'll give it by All-Star break, he going to find some footing. And then he going to figure out the way to land a lot better. So he going to have highlight films and stuff like that. Like I said, right now, what's not helping him right now, AD's down. He ain't got no real point guard to distribute the ball to him. There's no D-Lo. Well, D-Lo is playing, but D-Lo is he coming off the bench. To me, either Brand Williams or D-Lo would be the starting point guard. To me, you know, take the load off of Flagg, ball handling wise. But right now, he got to figure out the lay of the land right now. So I ain't giving no grade and nothing like that. But he's playing okay right now. He ain't doing the best right now, but he gonna figure out the lay of the land soon, and then he gonna take off from there. My other takeaway is Luka Doncic hooping for the Lakers right now. My thing is this. Even though Weezy stepped into a bigger role, Luka's playmaker is surging out there. I mean, the problem they're going to have is, I mean, LeBron is coming back soon. Some point in time with that sciatica. I don't know when he's going to be back. But the pro... I look at the pros and cons of it. The way I look at it is this. Since LeBron is out it's going to take more. He can sit out now that he playing. He can really. LeBron's sitting out like, okay, now we're like 6-2 during the time. I'm going to be like, yeah, it's 10 games in or 11 games in. I'm like, well, they doing pretty good without me. But it's a good time. And he was like, well, they take ball handling skills away take my ball handler away from me, so I don't have to worry about doing that. Plus, on that side, I don't have to do much on the deep. Well, I won't say he had to do much on the defense end. He still had to guard because him and Luka's going to be a turnstile on defense either way. But he got a lot. I'm gonna say he got a lot of pros out of it, but it helps to say, okay, we finally got some help. He finally got some help. And he can sit on the bench a little bit longer than usual during games. He could take a 6, 7, 8 minute stint on the bench instead of having a 3-4 minute stint or a 2 minute stint and JJ Redick be snapping his finger like, hey, come on, I need you back out there. So that's another thing about it. Austin Reaves helped his, I won't say it, and they decided to trade him whatever he wanted to do. It helped his contract. Well, it helped his contract and it helps his, I can't remember he got paid yet or not, but it helped his contract, and plus on top of that, it does help his trade value because he's playing good without Luka. Luka missed a few games afterwards in the 2 weeks. But like I said, he plays a lot better because essentially, like I said, it helps his draft start much as it can. Excuse me. It helps his it helps his trade value a lot better because he's showing up. He got a game, he scored 40, and he got hit a game-winning shot. So it's, like I said, it helps his value as a teammate in LeBron or other teams are looking around like, okay, check this out. If I'm team like, I'm throwing a name out, Washington or Milwaukee, something like that, or I'm trying to throw out another name, or just like I want to say that just throwing no names, just like New Orleans, for instance, or Chicago. Like Chicago will be like, hey, we'll give you Austin, Kobe White. You give me Austin. In our other hand, we probably give you Kobe White and somebody else and maybe a draft pick back. Whatever it is they could get back from Chicago. The end of the day is, like I said, Luka is Luka. Luka with a new body showing up, dropping 40 every other night. Plus 30, not 40, but I would say plus 30 every night. He's showing his playmaking ability. He going out to get triple doubles. But the con is when LeBron come back, everybody's numbers gonna go down. Not minutes wise, but I'll say like the ball. I want to say the ball usage. You know, Austin's ball usage is gonna come down. Usage rate is gonna come down. Not so much for Luka. Luka's still gonna have the usage rate is gonna be high for him. But at the end of the day, both of their numbers gonna come down when LeBron comes back. Because Austin averaged mid-20s or above 25 some nights, and Luka averaged a triple-double, averaging 30, 12, or 14 during the time. All that number going to come back at least down single digits. The nights that Austin was averaging, or nights that he get 30, he might have 17 or 20 some nights. Now, LeBron back in the fold, like I said, the con is when LeBron come back, it's simply the numbers just going to go down. So that's my other takeaway from this. But at the end of the day, I think for me as a Laker fan, I'm not a Laker fan, but like if I look in hindsight as a Laker fan, they're going to be like I said, their ceiling is going to be more of a top 4, top 5 seed. They can't go lower than the 6 because the Western Conference is tough. Some teams are out of there. Just like that right now, I can't say it so early this season. I can't say Dallas out. Dallas going to find their way eventually with AD and Kyrie come back somewhere at the point in time near the All-Star break or after the All-Star break. They're going to play a lot better. But other than that, like I said, as a Laker fan, I'll be happy about it. So, especially without LeBron's out. So, like I said, LeBron might be out for another month. So, it might be a good thing for him. That's my another takeaway from that's my other takeaway from for the past 2 weeks in the NBA season. My next thing is the other takeaway is the Detroit Pistons are for real. At this point in 2 weeks, we're close to 10 games with plus 15. We getting close to 15. My Piston outlook is basically like this. My takeaway is this: like they 9-2 now. They one of the highest teams in the NBA. Kane Cunningham is averaging 26, 9 and 5 right now. So that's just what Kane is like Kane is one of the best right now. Let me see. Early in this season, Kane Cunningham is probably like a top 10 NBA player at least. He probably one of the top guards right now in the NBA, based on the numbers and stuff. Because he'll give you 25 and 10 and 5 a night, just based on what he do. But he turning things around, the coaching and him. And another thing, the thing I love is Jalen Durham. He averaging 20, 11, and he's shooting nearly 65% plus 60%. During this time right now, I'm really high on Jane. Well, I'm really high on Jane Durham right now. It's just the simple fact that I think the Pistons are for real, but I don't think they're gonna be top. I think they're top 3, top 4 in the Eastern Conference right now. Maybe top. They probably the top one in the conference right now. Where it gonna last, we'll see. But they got like different type of players right now, like Duncan Robinson. He's shooting the ball lights out right now. I don't know he was sitting in the doghouse in Miami or what, but he wasn't getting no playing time right now. He back on his shit now, so it is what it is. Like I said, Kane Cunningham and Jalen Durham is turning things around right now in Detroit right now. So they gotta keep it up and they gotta keep it up. Especially like I said, I'm high on Jalen Durham because he gotta be one of the best big men in the league. He gotta keep that being 6'10", 6'11", weigh about 250, 270, so right around that ballpark. You know, he grab rebounds and things like that. I think it's year 2, year 3 for him. Like I said, I would like to see him, you know, add some more things to his offensive repertoire right now. But other than that, like I said, that Caden Cunningham and Detroit playing real good ball right now. The next takeaway I have for these last 2 weeks are the New York Knicks look sharp. My thing about them is they got Mike Brown as their head coach, and things look kind of different now on the offensive end. They look more offensive. They look like more of the offensive team than the defensive team from last year. Jordan Clarkson and Miles Bridges. Well, not Miles Bridges. Deuce McBride. So them two off the bench gonna add some firepower. OG looks good. Bridges look good. Mikal Bridges look good. Eventually, the Mitchell Robinson. I don't think they're gonna get him on the fold in the starting lineup, but he's in the second unit, so it makes them a lot tougher on defense. He's gonna change shots and things like that. But like I said, they look pretty sharp right now from a standpoint for me watching the games. The thing about it is the numbers I have on them is like they ninth in scoring team-wise, team stats. They got 120. They scoring 120 tonight. Their offensive rate is second in the league at 122.8 and plus 8.8 in net rating. That's fourth in the league, which is good. But like I said, they look like, Jaylen Brown and Cat look like they're in charge offensively, taking charge offensively and defensively. Defensively, it look like they still holding strong the things that Thibodeau taught. And Mike Brown adds some of that defense too, because he's a defensive coach too. So they look like they're holding strong. My 8 takeaway is the Boston Celtics are hovering around 500, which is expected of me, because I was wondering how Jaylen Brown's going to be, being the number one guy, the ace boom coon of the Boston Celtics. He's the number one ace of the team right now. So I want to know how Peyton Pritchard and Anthony Simons going to be like with them, without Jason Tatum right now. But like I said, with them, especially with Anthony Simons and Peyton Pritchard, they look good. For the most part, they look pretty good, because I was very interested how Peyton Pritchard being the star, because I was kind of figuring out how they gonna work it. Cause I was like, they gonna start Peyton Pritchard and Anthony Simons at the same time. One of them gonna be the sixth man. One's gonna be the de facto sixth man. I don't know who it is, but one of them gonna be the de facto sixth man. But it seemed like to me that Anthony Simons is the de facto sixth man on the team. Like I said, they still shoot the ball. They shoot the 3-ball like it's life or death. So it's going to be nights. They're going to be on. They're going to hit, let's say they hit 30, they took about 60. And it's on for them that night. They're going to blow most teams out the water. They hit 33s in one night. They're going to blow out the water. And it's going to be night. They be like 10 for 30, because they're gonna live by the 3, die by the 3. They're just the type of team they is. But Jaylen Brown averaging over 30, not over 30, over 25 at least a night now since Jason is out. So like I said, they above 500. They look like they need an extra hand, or probably another star they're willing to help out eventually. To get in hopefully give them a better foot in the Eastern Conference, because the Eastern Conference has always been a bad conference since the mid-90s. No, I'm going to say mid-90s. Probably like the early 2000s. The early 2000s, that's when they started dropping off, because during the time I watched NBA, when Michael Jordan was playing during the time, pretty much each conference always been pretty stacked. And I remember the time when Shaq went to the Lakers, the bias like kind of flipped. So, but other than that, like I said, at the end of the day, Boston still is gonna be. If they get a few pieces on the trade, or they can find a deal they can probably run with. And at the end of the day, they could probably be a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference right now. But right now, they where they at right now, they're gonna be being a few games above 500, or they're going to be right at 500 because they got to get used to, say, well, it's early, but I'm going to put it like this. It's early in the season right now, but I kind of expect they're going to play right in between above 5 or below because I wasn't too sure how Jaylen Brown's going to be like a number one guy, and losing Drew Holiday on the defensive end, how the defense is going to be like. It's going to be from the Boston Celtics. So that's my other takeaway from them. The Rockets are still the Rockets, they pretty good, but to me their main issue is another takeaway is for me about Houston Rockets. That's my other takeaway about since we're going to Houston. Houston, we do have a problem a little bit, but my takeaway from them is like they 6-3. Probably when you record this podcast, they might be 7-3, 9-3, 8-4, something like that. But they still in searching for a point guard. Like for instance, watching the very first game of the season, where they started, I want to say that the average height gotta be at least 6'7", 6'8", maybe 6. I'm gonna say 6'9". I'm gonna say 16. Their average height probably like 16. When they started, Steven Adams, Shangoon, and Kevin Durant. You got Ahmed Thompson and Jabari Parker. Not Jabari Parker, but Jabari Smith Jr. You got all them guys. Like you got 6'6", 6'10", another 6'10" guy, and another 6'10" guy. Then you got a 7-footer. So it's like they really tall. It looked good against OKC. It looked defensively. It kind of threw them off a little bit because OKC has two bigs in the game, and they had three tall guys, and they doing the double big thing too. So it's just like, well, they just hoping to see. They just hoping they throw them off. Wish they did a little bit, but for a little bit. But OKC is OKC. They will make it adjustments. But the problem with right now is with Houston is they need to find a point guard. Now I mean quick, fast, and hurry. They need to look into like maybe Ja Morant or look within to see that Reed Shepherd can really, what's the word? They can really, 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 really look at Reed Shepherd and make sure he can really, I won't say speed up his development, but somewhat kind of give him some minutes to get him to grind with playing with KD and Ahmed Thompson. So it takes some of that ball handling away from the Ahmed Thompson. Something like that. That's my main focus of that. Searching a point guard. And now they don't look into Reed Shepherd. Like I said, they need to look into John Morant or Drew Holiday or I'm trying to think some more point guards. Or like a guy like Isaiah Carter, like he's not a scorer, but he's a pass first point guard. Somebody like that. I'm trying to figure out somebody else they can look into. Trying to figure out another guard they could probably look into. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard right there, off the top of my head. Maybe like an Austin Reaves type of guy. They can probably get him and Ahmed Thompson kind of smushed in together a little bit. They can take ball handle and go back and forth, but I really that going to happen either. Or maybe go down to San Antonio and maybe talk about Daniel. I won't say getting an asking price for a speed or Dylan Harper or they ain't gonna let go no De'Aaron Fox. But you don't hurry to get a phone call from him. Pick up the phone, call and see what kind you get. Or trying to figure out, it's plenty of other guards out there. Nothing don't stick out like a sore thumb right now. But like, oh yeah, get this guard. But mainly just get John Moran, Drew Holiday, one of the two guards at least. Like I said, call another Texas team get another. Well, I'm gonna tell you another guy I can see. Dejounte Murray. That's his name, Dejounte Murray. Give him a phone call from the Pelicans. He'd be a nice little fit in Houston. Just because, based on, like I said, he didn't really have to dominate the game. Like I said, he might hit you with because what Jonte do is pretty much like this. He'll give you 20. He'll give you somewhere in between, especially within that team. He could get you somewhere in between 15 or 30. And he'll give you a triple-double whenever, basically. So you might need to get a phone call from Pelicans, ask what they going to do about DeJounte. Call the San Antonio, figure out what they're going to do about Fox and Harper. Call the Grizzlies about the Ja and call Drew Holiday for the Blazers. Or, hell, if they won't give a damn Drew Holiday, just call for Scoop. Somebody like that. Because they got to find a point guard. Like I said, they don't trust Reed Shepherd right now. He that's just what it is right now. But right now, they really need to, like I said, they just need to. I like the fact that Kevin Durant looks good out there and Ahmed Thompson look good. What I'm excited about is how Jabari and Şengün looking out there. They look pretty decent for the few games I seen, man. Watching lead pass and stuff like that. They showing up, especially Şengün. Şengün, especially that first game, he pulled up about close to 40. He like a new guy. I never seen Şengün looking like that before. He looked like one of the, how Şengün was playing, he was like one of the best big guys in the league. Next to York. But at the end of the day is how, like I said, right now, you got Udoka just being a good coach. And KD is an excellent fit for them. And like I said, once they figure out the point guard situation, they pretty much they gonna be at least top six seed in the Western Conference. The Knicks, and my final takeaway is the Denver Nuggets is coming for OKC. That Michael Porter Jr. Trade, I think it's gonna age well eventually. And Yoke is always been at MVP form all the time, no matter what. And the depth and the chemistry is gonna, to me, it's gonna make it look like a real threat. Denver is this. Wherever Yoke going, that's where Denver's going. Aaron Gordon looks pretty good. I know he went off. I think he had 50 during them 2 weeks. I think he had 50 one night. Cam Johnson, he looked like he fit well in the team. Yoke doing Yoke things. He give you a triple double. He makes sure that he draws everybody in as much as he can. The biggest thing is that they ain't gonna miss a step pretty much because they look like they're a much better team. Based on the depth and cause they look like they lost step. They move a few pieces here and there. like the Cam Johnson, letting go Russell Westbrook, Christian Brown, he still look good. He like one of the X factors out there. Payne Watts. Watts. He looks pretty good out there off the bench like he usually do. That center from New Orleans, I forgot his name. He played for the Kings last year. I think that backup center for Yoke, that's gonna work wonderfully too. But like I said, it's the reason why they gonna be a matchup for OKC. Like I said earlier, is I don't think nobody really ain't got no guy. Cause it's kind of like for instance, both teams got guys that can offset things. Like for instance, the Thunder ain't got nobody that offsets Jokic. In Denver got nobody that offsets Shea. Just because nobody can't really defend Shea. You just hoping that it's gonna be a cold night for him. That's the only thing they're hoping and praying is gonna be a cold night. That's how I look at it. Same thing for Yoke. Yoke don't have to have a 30 or 40 plus game. It could be one night he dropped 10, 15, and 15 just basically on. He like, well, I don't have to worry about doing the scoring, but I could draw everybody in and make everybody else come in. Like the main issue with Nuggets always had with I'm waiting for Jamal Murray to like blow up and show out like he did in the bubble. Injuries played part of that too, so I can't really blame it on him. Injuries does that, and then he gonna have games that when he in the playoffs he needs to step it up because some game he just had a bad night. So right now, Jokic is depending on Johnson and Aaron Gordon right now. And some nights they Jamal Murray, he'll come out to play, but sometimes he'd be like, damn, I had a bad shooting night. I'm going to keep shooting. And some nights he'd just be like, man, if he just stop shooting or he just give up on itself sometimes on certain games. But that's just the main issue to me, that if Jamal Murray shows up for those big games against OKC, that's all that the Knicks need to do to beat OKC. That Jamal needs to be more consistent. If Jamal can be consistent like J-Dub, it's gonna be a good series. But J-Dub had games that he won't show up neither last season, last playoffs. But he surely fired up. J-Dub. He surely found up. What's the word for? He shows up in the finals against the Pacers. I can't even talk right now, but I'm just saying he showed up against the finals. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, Jamal Murray has to show up. That's the only way that OKC is going to be. That's the only way Denver Nuggets is going to be OKC. So that's my 10 takeaways of this early NBA season, in this 2 weeks edition I have. We're going to move around, and we're going to talk about NBA prospects right quick. My 4 prospects, I'll keep my eye on. I'm going to have more as the show keeps building. I'm going to add more prospects, even the same prospects. But AJ the Banser out of BYU. What I saw for him is the notes I took down for him is he's a explosive downhill scorer that scores in all 3 levels, and AJ got tools to be a two-way player, the swagger of a generational talent. But he's already a conventional number 1 pick of next year's draft. But right now, I saw against North Carolina, he looks legit. He looks really legit. I think this year's class, should be very, very good. But last year's class showing up. Last year's the class they playing right now, they're showing up to being like, oh, y'all ain't talk about this draft as much, but only person y'all talk about is Cooper. So this year's draft class looks like it's trying to make noise and making a statement now, like, hey man, y'all need to talk about this class than any other class. Well, they making sure like, hey man, the class is good too. It might not be as good as the class now. The class is coming out next year, but AJ has a chance to be a generational prospect. It's like three of them. To me, based on what I watched on highlights or what I watched on TV, I like live games right now, to me, it's only three guys. Well, I'm going to put it like this. It's only three. I'm going to talk about Darren Patterson and Karen, Carlos Boozer's son, Karen. So that's the three prospects right now. That's the three generational ones. Well, it might be two. Right now, Cameron got a chance to be. He's showing glimpses he can be a generational prospect. But the two is pretty much Darren Patterson and AJ Sabaska. I'm gonna jack up his name, but AJ. The only two guys I see is generational. That's why I think he got a chance. I got to keep up with him all season. He's gonna be the Big 12. So I'm gonna definitely see him against Texas Tech, and he definitely gonna have games against Patterson because they in the same conference. So you're gonna see them two go head to head a lot. They ain't gonna be strictly head to head, but I seen AJ. I think I seen AJ play about once or twice in person. Cause he comes to that Nike Peach Jam where I live at. So I ain't get to see Darren Patterson because he played on. I'm trying to see. Darren played for either Armour's travel team or he played with the Adidas because I ain't get to see him because he ain't won on the Nike circuit. So I did get to see AJ. Let me see what the next prospect I say was Caleb Wilson. You know, he's from UNC, my favorite team, North Carolina Tar Heels. I'm glad to see him on this team. But, you know, he's a 6'10" guy, and AJ is like 6'9". So, Caleb, the notes I got on him was a long, athletic two-way, I won't say wing, but he's a two-way forward. He could probably play wing. In the NBA, he could probably be a small ball he could be a small ball 4, 5, and he could be a 3 coming in the league. But he could thrive through transitions, using his wingspans to close out hard, like 3 points, things like that. He rebounds well. He attacks the rim with all purpose. He got a top 10 upside that is real, but he can develop his handles and his shot. As long as he could do that, I look at Caleb. To me, Caleb is I won't say a game change for North Carolina, but he changes things in North Carolina because last year North Carolina, they was a pretty decent team, but they were still a good team, but they had a hard time. They ain't had no NBA legit talent on the team at the time. Usually, been watching North Carolina for the past 38 years. When I look at every North Carolina game, we always have at least 2, 3, 4, maybe NBA guys on the floor. Most guys, they're either off the bench, either they come in the NBA to play in the NBA. You might have, like I said, you on a team, you might have about most of the team might be NBA guys. They might not stay in the league as long, but they might be overseas and stuff like that. Right now, you got R.J. Davis. They played on last year's team. You know what? I think he playing on the G League team with the Lakers right now. He playing with Bryant in the G League. But right now, Bryant's still with the upper roster right now. But R.J. Davis, guess what? He in the NBA league. He an NBA prospect guy. So, like I said, like I always say, North Carolina always had NBA prospects. Same thing as Duke. So, I'm looking forward to Caleb. Caleb got, to me, watching against AJ that night, he got like top 5 potential. He can be. He one of those guys. He just, everything go right for him, he might play himself. He definitely a lottery pick, but he definitely gonna probably play his way into top 5, top 6 type teams. So I like him. Cameron Boozer. Calls his son. Call up, man. Oh boy, Duke got another one. I can say that much. Duke got another one. My notes I took from them is a versatile big man who can play the 4 and the 5. Boozer's inside outside game, rebounding, court vision, making matchups a nightmare against certain teams and certain style make fights for him. So basically that's what I'm saying. He's showing flashes of a generational talent. Looks like a top 3 lock pick of this year's draft. So that's another generational guy that he got a chance to be the it guy too. It's gonna come down between Patterson, him, and AJ, pretty much. Based on, like I said, that's another guy I seen. I saw play in person. I seen Karen. Seen Karen come to Peach Jam. I seen what he looked like. I mean, while I saw him play, I seen it. I seen little glimpses of it. But right now, playing at Duke right there, he sure is he's taking advantage of it. Because I think he played Tennessee. He had a crazy stat line. But like I said, when it comes this season, he definitely gonna make some noise. And he gonna make some noise to the point that he gonna be like, look, I'm here. I'm one of the Duke's great prospects that come out of Duke. So, like I said, same thing in North Carolina. Duke always at least had about 6 to 8 guys, and one team they're gonna play in the NBA, and not they're gonna play overseas somewhere. So, like I said, Duke and North Carolina always have at least a top. They gonna win a national championship. They always have at least a top 5 guy that's gonna be lottery pick. During my lifetime, they're actually gonna win championships. Duke gonna have another one come up. Duke at least got right now. You got Karen and Caden, his little brother. That's gonna be another pick. I think Isaiah Evans, he's gonna be another pick for him. North Carolina got a guy, I think he's a 7-footer. I don't know where he came from, but he's an overseas guy, but he got overseas now. He can't remember what it is, but I know he's from overseas. And I might be wrong about that. I might be stereotyping. But at the end of the day, the way I look at it is this. They always going to be guys. They're going to have NBA prospects at the end of the day. So I wasn't surprised. Like I said, Karen Booth is going to be another guy. It's going to be worth seeing. Darren Peterson, that's my next one. I'm going to tell you what my notes about him is. my notes on him is he's a dynamic scorer that got 3-level ability and a defensive upside. Patterson got takeover potential and a smooth outside shot. He's trending towards the top 3 status. It could be Knicks. A Knicks elite two-way player that hit the league. So the thing about Darren Patterson, when I saw him, like I said before, I think I did see Caleb Williams too in person. I seen Caleb Williams on the way in your team. I think he played with the Georgia Stars because he's from Atlanta. I seen like three out of 4 prospects. Like I said, Peach Jam come every year. So, at the end of the day, I didn't get to see Darren Peterson. Darren Peterson played a non-affiliate Nike team, so I ain't never get a chance to see him. But watching all 3 out of 4 prospects, Darren Peterson probably the number 1 guy. Yeah, Darren Peterson might be the number 1 guy. In my opinion, I think Darren's so good to the point that when he come in the league, I won't be surprised with his potential. I won't be surprised he will be in his position. He probably like maybe 2-3 years. If he pops right away, it might be his ascending. He gonna ascend fast. But to me, I think if he is what he is, I think he gonna be to me he gonna be. I think he's a guard. I won't say he's a 2 guard, but I'm gonna say he's a 2 guard. He might be one of the, if he pops off based on potential, I definitely would say he probably be a top 15 guard by time. Maybe top 10. I'm going to say 15. Depends what team he goes to and where he's. Like, for instance, he can't go to Sacramento Kings. He's going to be like De'Aaron Fox. We know he's good, but he in Siberia right now because we don't know he playing out there. We ain't get to see De'Aaron Fox until playoff time until we realize, hey, man, De'Aaron Fox got to be at least a top 5 point guard in the league. But he plays such a bad team, we didn't know he's out there. He got to be somewhere there to the point that the team got to be somewhat decent or somewhat playoff playing team, or they have like a decent organization. And that, he ain't going to get noticed out there until like maybe 6-7 years in the league. And he'll be like, oh, Darren Patterson got to be a top 5 shooting guard in the league. And guess what? He in damn Sacramento somewhere just because nobody ain't get to see him as much. But to me, I think he's going to be at least to me, he's a top prospect in my eyes. That's what I think. So, thank you for listening to the show. Leave a comment. Hopefully you enjoy the show. Thank you. This is 6 Men in the Mic. Peace.